Today is a very auspicious day, Jahnu Saptami. Our Gurudev told it is appearance day of Jahnu Muni. And Ganga came out from him after he swallowed, so her name became Jahnavi, and today is Jahnavi Puja, means worship of Ganga as Jahnavi. But we have to first know the background about how Ganga appeared. So our Gurudev wrote in Puranic Charitavali, in the history of King Bhagirath, how Ganga Devi appeared. Dilipas tat sutas tadvat ashakta kalam eivan Bhagirathas tasya sutas tepe sasu mahatapah, from Bhagavatam. Like Anshuman himself, who was the son of King Sagar, his son Dilip was also unable to bring Ganga to this material world, and he also became a victim of death in due course of time. Then Dilip's son Bhagiratha performed very severe austerities to bring the Ganga to this material world. The first king of the solar dynasty was Vaivasvata Manu's son Ikshvaku. Mandata Purukutsa Trasadasyu Amaranya Har Yashva Tribandana Trishanku Harishchandra Rohita Harita Champa Sudeva Vijaya Baruka Vrika and Bahuka all belong to the Ikshvaku dynasty. Being troubled by enemies, Bahuka went to the forest with his wife but died there. When Bahuka's pregnant wife prepared to die together with her husband, sage Urva forbade her to do so. The other wives of Bahuka were envious of her, and in order to eliminate the child in her womb, they fed her a type of poison, Gara. You see, this is all the time happening in this world. Due to envy, committing violence. Thus, she gave a birth to a son who was born with Gara. So he was named Sagara. Sagar. On the advice of sage Urva, King Sagar performed an Ashwamedha Yagya, but Indra kidnapped the horse that was intended for the Yagya. King Sagar had two wives, Sumati and Keshini. Mahabharata states that his wives were named Vaidarbhi and Shaibya. When the sons of Sumati went looking for the stolen horse that was intended for the Yagya, they first dug up the earth and formed the Sagar, ocean. After a long search, they found the horse standing next to Lord Kapila. Mistakenly, they took him to be the thief of the horse. When they expressed their anger toward him, they were all burned to ashes by the fire in their own bodies due to their offense. Then from Bhagavatam verse, Nasadu vado muni kopa bharjita nripendra putra iti satva dhamani katham tamo roshamayam vibhavyate jagat pavitratmani khe rajo bhuva. This verse from Bhagavatam, it is sometimes argued that the sons of King Sagar were burned to ashes by fire emanating from the eyes of Kapila Muni. This statement, however, is not approved by greatly learned persons because Kapila Muni's body is completely in the mode of goodness and therefore cannot manifest the mode of ignorance in the form of anger. just as the pure sky cannot be polluted by the dust of the earth. Mahabharata narrates the episode as follows. Once, King Sagar desired a son. So, in order to obtain the blessings of Lord Mahadev, he performed severe penance. Soon after, Mahadev was pleased and gave King Sagar a boon that he would get 60,000 sons from one wife, but they would all die together. And he would get a brave son from his second wife. Thus, as promised by Lord Mahadev, 60,000 sons were born from Vaidarbhi, and from Shaibya one son as bright as Kartik was born. The mother and father named this son Asamanjasa. Asamanjasa's son Anshuman went to Kapila Muni in search of the horse in order to secure salvation of his ancestors. Having arrived there, he found the Yagya horse and the ashes of the sons of Sumati. The other sons means 60,000 sons. Anshuman started glorifying Lord Kapila and by doing so managed to satisfy him. Lord Kapila then gave him permission to take the horse, but as Anshuman kept on standing before him, Kapila Dev understood that he wanted to ask for something more. When Lord Kapila learned of his wish, he told him that his ancestors would be liberated if they were offered the oblation water of Mother Ganga. After this, Anshuman paid his obeisances to Lord Kapila and returned to his father. King Sagar completed the yagya, gave his kingdom to Anshuman, and left for the heavenly abode. Despite many great efforts, Anshuman's son Dilip failed to bring the Ganga to the earth. After the death of Dilip, his son Bhagirath decided to perform penance in order to bring the Ganga. So Sagar was doing that yagya to become Indra. 99 yagyas he did without any difficulty. Indra that Ashwamedha, horse sacrifice. But then Indra became envious because he thought now he will occupy my position. So Indra actually took that horse, stole, and put it in front of Kapila Muni's ashram. So when the 60 sons of Sagar were searching for that horse, they saw him there in Kapila Muni's in front of, and they thought he stole it. So they rebuked him, and Kapila Muni, because of their offense, they were all burned to ashes. Then Anshuman, another son, he went there and he saw they were all dead. So he asked Kapila Muni how they can be rescued. Then he said if they get touch of Ganga. But Anshuman could not bring her down. Dilip, his son, also could not bring. But Bhagirath, son of Dilip, he could. Being pleased by Bhagirath's penance, Mother Ganga appeared before him to grant him a benediction. Thus, Bhagirath requested her to descend to earth for the salvation of his ancestors. Then Mother Ganga replied, "To fulfill your wish, I shall descend to earth, but I shall require a competent person on the earth to curb the force and velocity of my fall. Otherwise, I shall pierce the earth planet and enter Patala, the lower planetary system. Actually, I do not wish to descend to earth because humans will wash away their sins by taking a dip in my waters, thereby maligning me. If that should occur, then how will I attain liberation from all those sins?" Therefore, King Bhagirath countered her with two arguments. 1. Pure-hearted sages will take away all the accumulated sins by bathing in your waters, because Lord Hari, the destroyer of all sins, resides in their hearts. 2. The all-prevailing Lord Shiva, who is not different from and most dear to the Supreme Lord, will endure the pressure of your flow. After that, Bhagirata resolutely performed penance in order to receive the mercy of Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva became pleased by his penance, he appeared before him. Thus, Bhagirata requested him to endure the flow of the Ganga, to which Rudra agreed. So, when the Ganga finally descended to earth, Shiva took her on his head, and the noble king Bhagirata took the Ganga to the place where his forefathers were burned to ashes. Bhagirata mounted a swift chariot while blowing his conch, and Mother Ganga followed him, purifying all places in the process. So here in this connection comes this topic, that in Navadip Dham Mahatmya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote, Srila Satchid Ananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur states in his book Navadip Dham Mahatmya that King Bhagirata founded Ganga Nagar in Antardvip. The history of Ganga Nagar is as follows. Bhagirata was traveling in his chariot, blowing his conch so that Ganga would follow him, but when they reached Navadip, she stopped. When King Bhagirata looked back, he was startled because he did not see her behind him anymore. So he went back to Ganga Nagar and performed penance there. Satisfied by his penance, Mother Ganga appeared and the king prayed for the salvation of his ancestors. To this, Mother Ganga replied that she would come to Navadip in the month of Magh, since Lord Shri Gaurahari would appear on Purnima in the month of Falguna. On that same day, that she will break her fast, and moving on for the deliverance of his ancestors at the end of Falguna. So that we heard. Now, while glorifying Jahnu, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that when Bhagirata came to Jahnu with the Ganga, sage Jahnu became angry and swallowed the Ganga because his Panchapatra, that Achaman cup, or that utensils for worship of his object of worship, had been swept away by the current of the Ganga. Gurudev told that he was doing his sandhya, and in front he had those vessels, and when Ganga was flowing, she took. Then he became angry because that is obstacle to his worship of Krishna. It is not that he has false ego, but it is for Krishna's service. So he swallowed whole Ganga. Gurudev said, you see how big stomach. The thing is, Gurudev said, you Westerners, you don't believe this. You think it is mythology. You cannot understand this, how one Muni can swallow whole Ganga. When Bhagirata did not see Ganga anymore, he offered prayers to sage Jahnu, and the sage then brought out the Ganga by cutting off a part of his body. In one kalpa, as we will hear later in Ramayana, it is said that she came out from his right ear. That is why right ear is considered pure. That is why you can touch right ear. It is considered pure, but in another kalpa, he cut his knee, and from his thigh, he released that Ganga. Therefore, one of the names of Ganga is Jahnavi. According to the Ramayana, Saint Jahnu brought the Ganga out through his ear. According to the Harivansha, sages have described Ganga as the daughter of Saint Jahnu. In Amarnath Chandrika, there are many names of Ganga. Later, maybe I can read. So then, after that, first Ganga also stopped in Chakradaha. Nowadays it is called Chakdaha, and after that she came to Ganga Sagar, that is south of Calcutta, where Ganga meets the ocean. That is the place where his ancestors, 60,000 sons, were burned to ashes. So by the mere touch of the water of the Ganga, the sons of Sagar were at once freed from all their sins, and they left for heaven. Mother Ganga descended to earth because of Bhagirath. Thus she is also known as Bhagirathi. In this context, sage Vedavyas has glorified the Ganga in 3 verses. Yad jala sparsha matrena brahmadanda khata api sagaratmaja divam jagmuh kevalam deha basma bhi. Basmi bhutanga sangena svaryatah sagaratmaja kim punah shradaya devim sevante yadrita vrata. Nahi etat param ascharjam swardhunya yat ihoditam. Ananta charanam boja prasutaya bhava chitta. This is from Bhagavatam, 9th canto. Because the sons of Sagar Maharaj committed a great sin, they falsely accused Kapila Muni of stealing that horse, which was actually stolen by Indra. So that was a great sin, offense to Brahmin. Because of the sons of Sagar Maharaj committed a great sin, the heat of their bodies had increased and they were burned to ashes. However, by the mere touch of the water of the Ganga, the sons of Sagar Maharaj were elevated to the heavenly planets. Therefore, what is to be said of a devotee who worships Mother Ganga faithfully with a determined vow? One can only imagine the benefit that accrues to such a devotee. Because Mother Ganga emanates from the lotus toe of Lord Hari, she is able to liberate one from material bondage. Therefore, whatever is described herein about her is true, and in no way an exaggeration. In our Mayapur mat, you will see, when Pujari is doing Arati, offering lamp, then after Radha Krishna, then he will also go on little out, and he will also worship Ganga. And then also with, I think only with deep he's worshipping. And daily we have to bow down to Ganga, because she is a pure devotee. So here, she can rescue one from sins, because Kapila Muni told this is the way how they can be liberated. But devotee, so what devotee will get if he will worship her in relation to Supreme Lord? In the Vana Parva of Mahabharata, the detailed story of King Sagar, oh yes, I want to read, also in Navadip Bhavataranga, another book by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there he also mentioned, when he was doing parikrama, he wrote, north of Vidyanagar shines Jahnu Dvip, where the hermitage of Jahnu Muni is visible to all. Here, the great sage drank the Ganga, and she reappeared as his daughter. Here, at Jahnu Muni's ashram, Krishna's devotee Bhishma systematically learned devotion to the Lord. Jahnu Muni sincerely engaged in service, bhajan, and easily attained the feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Here, then he says, this Jahnudip is not different from Bhadravan in Vrindavan. And Gurudev wrote here in Puranic Charitavali that what Jahnu Muni taught Bhishma here, Bhishma repeated to Yudhishthira Maharaj before disappearing from this world. He taught that we were hearing in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Jahnu Muni is not ordinary person. So now from Mahabharata, in the Vana Parva of Mahabharata, the detailed story of King Sagar, the episode of King Bhagirath bringing Mother Ganga to earth, and the salvation of the Sagar dynasty are described. The narration in Mahabharata is almost identical to that of Srimad Bhagavatam. However, we do find differences in the narration of Valmiki's Ramayana, which is that Mother Ganga appeared as a result of the union between Himalaya and Manorama, or Maina, which is the daughter of Sumeru. Sumeru is also mountain. So, as a daughter, their daughter of Himalaya and Manorama. The demigods prayed to the Himalaya demigod and received river Ganga as a donation. Here it is explained. According to the Kritivasi Ramayana, in the Bengali language, the demigods took Ganga Devi in order to marry her to Lord Shiva. Menaka was unable to see Ganga Devi and thus cursed her. Due to the curse, Ganga Devi changed to the element of water. Then further from Ramayana, Lord Brahma kept river Ganga in his water pot, Kamandalu, and when Bhagirath learned that river Ganga was contained in the water pot of Brahma, he left his kingdom at the disposal of his ministers and performed penance to please Brahma. After 1000 years of penance, Brahma, along with all the demigods, appeared before Bhagiratha, who disclosed the purpose of his penance to him. After hearing of his desire, Brahma told him that the earth would not be able to bear the force of Mother Ganga's water, and in order to curb her force, one would first have to please Lord Mahadev. Bhagiratha performed penance for a year and managed to please Lord Mahadev, who thereafter accepted his prayer and agreed to bear the falling water of the Ganga. Here Gurudev explained, because when Gurudev was in England in 2000, this day came. So there, in short, he was explaining this pastime of appearance of Ganga from Ramayana, this coming from Kamandalu of Brahma. So Gurudev told, you see here, he worshipped Brahma for 1000 years. Then Brahma was pleased. He said, okay, yes, I will release Ganga. And then he told him, yes, Shiva has to bear. And then only for 1 year, he was worshipping Shiva, because Shiva is easily pleased. His name is Ashutosh, very easily pleased. So only after 1 year, he managed to please Lord Mahadev, who thereafter accepted his prayer and agreed to bear the falling water of the Ganga. Ashutosh, yes, Ashutosh Mahadev is easily pleased. When Ganga Devi learned that Shiva was going to curb her stream of water falling from the heavens, she decided to descend to earth with great force and enter the lower planets along with Mahadev. Shiva was wary when he learned of this resolve, so as Ganga descended, Shiva trapped her in the locks of his hair, dreadlocks. Ganga Devi could not escape in spite of her many efforts, and when Bhagirath did not see Ganga, he became anxious and prayed to Shiva. Then Lord Shiva merged Ganga into Bindu Sarovar. 7 streams of the Ganga emerged from Bindu Sarovar. On the eastern side were 3 streams, Hladini, Pavani and Nalini. On the western side there were 3 streams, Vankashu, Sita and Sindhu. The remaining stream followed Bhagirath and came to be known as Bhagirathi. From the narration of the Ramayana, one learns that 2 daughters were born from Maina, the wife of Himalaya. The elder daughter was Ganga Devi and the younger was Uma Devi. To ensure the success of a certain task of the demigods, Himalaya sent Ganga Devi to Surloka, the higher planetary system. Uma attained Rudra as her husband, that is Parvati. Because born from Himalaya Parvat, but that is why Parvati. So Uma attained Rudra as her husband after performing great penance. The husband of Ganga is also Mahadev. Bhagirathena Sanitatena Bhagirati Smrita Ityeva Katitam Sarvam Gango Pakyanam Uttamam. This is from Brahma Vivarta Puran. When Bhagirathi, that is Ganga, touched the sea, the sons of Sagar ascended to heaven. Since Ganga Devi emerged from the lotus foot of Lord Vishnu, she is also known as Vishnupadi. The etymological meaning of Ganga is Gamyate Brahma Pada Manaya Gam Gan. It is coming from Brahma, from Supreme Lord, from his lotus feet. According to the encyclopedia, Gachati Ti Gam Gan Tap. It's not translated, but Gamete means coming from, going. Brahma Pada Manaya Gam. Yes, so Ganga, because today we have to worship her, so I will repeat the names given in Shastra. She has many names. By chanting her names, we can also worship her. Otherwise, you worship Ganga by taking Ganga water and offering to her. By the Ganga water, you worship Ganga. And by chanting, so the names are Ganga, Vishnupadi, Jahnu Tanaya, means daughter of Jahnu Muni, Sura Nimnaga, coming from Sur planet. Nimnaga means going down. Our Gurudev thought Nimnaga means water always goes down. In the same way, Kripa from Supreme Lord and his pure devotees always goes down to a surrendered soul. One who will surrender can receive. Bhagirathi, 3 Pathaga, 3 Srotas, and Bhishmas. Then in Sanskrit, also encyclopedia, there are more names. Vishnupadi, Jahnu Tanaya, Sura Nimnaga, Bhagirathi, 3 Pataga, 3 Srota, Bhishmasu, Argya Tirtaraja, Tridasha Dirgika, Kumarasu, Saridvara, Siddhapaga, Svargapaga, Svarapaga, Svapaga, Rishikalpa, Hemavati, Svarvapi, Harashekhara, Nandini, Alakananda, Sita Sindhu, Advaga, Ugra Shekhara, Siddha Sindhu, Svarga Saridvara, Mandakini, Jahnavi, Punya, Samudra Subhaga, Svar Nadi, Sura Dirgika, Sura Nadi, Svar Dhuni, Jeshta, Jannasuta, Bhishma Janani, Shubra, Shailendraja, Bhavayana, and others. Then here it is Prithvi Gangaya Bhavishya Tyantimokalu. River Ganga will disappear before the destruction of the earth at the end of Kali, the last age. According to the Brahmavarta Puran, river Ganga will remain in Kali Yuga for 5,000 years. Our Gurudev told that when Govardhan will disappear and Ganga, Jamuna, then the Kali Yuga will become very powerful. At that time, people will be in very precarious condition. And also, there is a Ganga Stotram made by Shankaracharya. He's Shiva, wife, means husband of her. So I want to chant this also to worship Ganga. Devi Sureshwari Bhagavati Gange Tribhutvana Tarini Tarala Tarange Shankara Mauli Nivasini Vimale Mama Matir Astam Tava Pada Kamale. O brilliant goddess, O sovereign of all the demigods, O Bhagavati, dearly beloved of the Supreme Lord, O Ganga, who brings liberation to the three worlds. Your waves are playful and you reside on Lord Shankar's, that is Shiva's, crown. O Immaculate One, may my attention be fixed upon your lotus-like feet. Bhagirati Sukhadaini Mat Stava Jala Mahima Nigame Kyata Naham Jane Tava Mahimanam Trahi Kripamoy Mama Gyanam. O Bhagirati, who answered the prayers of King Bhagirata, O Mother, who bestows bliss, the glory of your holy waters is described in the Vedas. I am entirely ignorant of your magnificence. O merciful one, please save this dullard, Mama Agyanam, one who is without knowledge. Trahi Kripamoy Mama Gyanam. Hari Pada Padma Viharini Gange Hima Vidu Mukta Dhavala Tarange Duri Kuru Mama Dushkriti Bharam Kuru Kripaya Bhava Sagara Param. O Ganga, who frolics at Sri Hari's lotus feet, your waves are as white as snow, as white as the moon, and as white as pearls. Please eradicate the burden of my sins. Mercifully carry me across the ocean of material existence. Tava jalam amalam yena nipitam paramapadam kalu tena grihitam. Matar Gange tvai yo bhakta kila tam drashtum na yama shakta. Anyone who drinks your pure water attains the highest destination. O Mother Ganga, Yama, the god of death, cannot even look at that person who is devoted to you. Cannot even look to him. Patito Dharini Jahnavi Gange Kandita Girivara Mandita Bhange Bhishma Janani Kalu Munivara Kanye Patita Nivarini Tribhubana Dhanye. O Savior of the fallen, O Ganga, daughter of the sage Jahnu. Your streams are adorned by the best of mountains. O mother of Bhishma, that also you will find in Puranic Charitavali, how Bhishma became son of Ganga, because those Vasus, they were cursed and they had to take birth in earth, and 7 immediately they died. Ganga killed them. I read that time, but Diao, he had to remain. Then he became Bhishma Devabrata. So you are mother of Bhishma, and Bhishma learned from Jahnu Muni about Dharma. You are indeed the daughter of the best of sages. Oh, that is Jahnu Muni. O Savior of the fallen, you are glorious throughout the 3 worlds. Kalpalatam iva phaladam loke pranamati yastvam napatati shoke paravara viharini matar gange vibuddha vanita krita tarala pange. You fulfill one's desires just like a wish-fulfilling creeper. He who offers respects to you never perishes in grief. O Mother Ganga, who frisks between 2 banks. This word I did not hear it. Frisks between 2 banks. The wives of the demigods restlessly glance at you from the corners of their eyes. I want to see what is frisks. Plus, skip or leap playfully, frolic, like this. Skip or leap playfully, frolic. Tava kripaya chet shrotah snatah punar api jatare sopi na jatah naraka nivarini Jahnavi gange kalusha vinashini mahimo tunge. If by your mercy a person chances to bathe in your waters, he never takes birth from a mother's womb again. O Ganga, daughter of Saint Jahnu, you save one from hell and eliminate one's sinful reactions. You are always at the pinnacle of glory. Punar asat ange punya tarange jaya jaya Jahnavi koruna patange. No, koruna pange. Indra mukuta mani rajita charane shukade shubade sevaka sharane. Your body consists of numerous rivers, and your waves are holy. Glory, glory to you, O Jahnavi, whose whole body is comprised of compassion. Indra's crown, studded with precious stones, always decorates your feet. O you who bestow happiness and goodness, you are the shelter of your servants. Rogam shokam tapam papam harame bhagavati kumati kalapam tribhubhana sare vasuda hare tvam asi gatir mama khalu sangsare. O Bhagavati, please take away my disease, grief, suffering, sins, and delusion. Your presence is essential in the 3 worlds. You are the precious necklace embellishing the earth. You are doubtlessly my only shelter in the repeated cycle of birth and death. Alakanande Paramanande Kuru Mai Karunam Katara Vandye. Tava Tata Nikate Yasya Nivasa Kalu Vaikunta Tasya Nivasa. O Alakananda, who descends from the Himalayas, O you who personify supreme bliss, please bestow mercy upon me, for you are worshipped by all the wretched. Whoever lives on your banks indisputably resides in the transcendental abode of Vaikuntha. Varam iha nire kamato minah, kim vatire sharatah kshinah, atha vagavyati shvapacho dinas, tava nahi dure nripati kulina. It is better to be a turtle or fish in your waters, a tiny lizard on your banks, or even a wretched dog-eater living within 2 kroshas, that is 4 square miles from you, than to be a king of noble lineage who lives far from you. Bho Bhuvaneshwari Punya Dhanya Devi Dravamai Munivara Kanya Ganga Stavam Imam Amalam Nityam Patati Naro Yaksa Jayati Satyam. O Lady of the Universe, O Blessed One, O Glorious One, O Goddess whose form is liquid, O Daughter of the best of sages, that is Jahnu. That person who always recites this impeccable prayer in praise of Ganga Devi truly gains victory. Yesham Hridaye Ganga Bhaktis, Tesham Bhavati Sada Sukha Mukti, Madhura Manohara Pajatika Bih, Paramananda Kalita Lalitabih, Ganga Stotram Idam Bhavasaram, Vanchita Paladam Vigalita Bharam, Shankara Sevaka Shankara Rachitam, Patati Cha Vinaidam Iti Samaptam. Bliss and liberation are the property of those whose heart is the abode of devotion to Ganga. The amazing verses of this Ganga Stotra, which are saturated with supreme bliss, are written by Shankaracharya, the servant of Lord Shankara, in the enchanting matter known as Pajatika. This stotra bestows the desired result and liberates one from all types of burden. Thus ends this prayer, which is chanted regularly by gentle persons. So today is the appearance of Jahnu Muni. I am bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy to forgive all offenses which I may have committed knowingly or unknowingly, and to bestow devotion, the service of his lotus feet and the lotus feet of his object of worship. We heard in Navadip Avataranga, he was worshipping there and he got darshan of Shri Krishna Chaitanya, means Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and he taught Bhishma about Dharma. So I'm praying for his causeless mercy, and also Jahnavi, his daughter, after she reappeared from him. She appeared in Himalaya as a daughter or from Brahma's Kamandalu, and then again reappearing from Jahnu Muni's belly after he swallowed. So Jahnavi, I saw her in Navadip, and she's like a mother, Ganga mother, transcendental. So mentally I am taking her own water transcendental water and offering to her as service. And also she was pleased by hearing this glorification and prayer which we heard now. So in this way I am worshipping her and also bowing down and praying for her causeless mercy to bestow service on her lotus feet and the lotus feet of her object of worship, that is also Gauranga Mahaprabhu. She also got that grace. So tomorrow we will hear further Bhagavatam.